Good morning, children. Sai Ram. Children, welcome back to the part 2 of chapter number 2 of political science, that is, role of government in health. So, children, before we proceed further, I hope that you're ready with your notepad and your pen to note down the important points. Hopefully, you have done your assignments too. Now, children, before we proceed to this session, let us take a small recap of whatever we did in the last part. Children, in the last part, we understood what is health. Health not only means our ability to remain free of illness and injuries, but it also is related with other factors such as clean drinking water, adequate food, etc. Now, let us take an example. If people get clean drinking water or a pollution free environment, they are likely to be healthy. After that, children, we went on to healthcare in India. We understood that there are several that India has largest number of medical colleges, but most of the doctors settle in urban areas. People in rural areas have to travel long distance to reach the doctor. We also saw that in order to treat illness, we need appropriate health facilities such as health centers, hospitals, laboratories, ambulance services, blood bank, etc. After that, children, we saw the story of Hakim Sheikh, who was a member of the Organization of Agricultural Labor in West Bengal. Children, he accidentally fell off a running train and suffered head injuries. As he was in a very serious condition, he was taken to government hospital in Kolkata, but they refused to admit him because according to them they did not have a spare bed. He had to move from one hospital to another for the treatment, but somehow he was not admitted. Likewise, he had to spend 14 hours in critical state, and end of the day he had to get admitted in the private hospital where he received the treatment. He had to spend a lot of money for his treatment. Angry and upset over the indifferent attitude, he filed a case in the court. Children, would you like to know what the court said in this case? It said that according to our institution, it is the primary duty of the government to ensure the welfare of the people and provide healthcare facilities to all. It is the duty of the government to safeguard the right to life of every person. The court said that Hakim Sheikh had to face a lot of difficulty that would have cost him his life. It said that if the hospital cannot provide timely medical treatment to a person, it means that this protection of life is not being given. The court also said that it was the duty of the government to provide necessary health services, including treatment in emergency situations. Hospitals and medical staff must fulfill their duty of providing necessary treatment. Hakim Sheikh was denied treatment at various government hospitals and therefore government asked uh, the court asked the state government to give him the money that he had to spend on his treatment. Isn't this fair, children? Yes, that's right. Children, now let us begin this session with one more story. This is a story of two very good friends, Aman and Ranjan. Aman and Ranjan went to same school, but Ranjan came from a very well-to-do family, whereas Aman's friends could barely meet ends. Both of them fell ill. When Ranjan fell ill, his father took him to a posh hospital. And so, Ranjan was very desperate to tell what happened to him to Aman, as Aman was his very good friend. When both of them met at the school, Aman and Ranjan discussed about their experiences in their hospitals. Aman said that as soon as they went to the reception, even before they had met the doctor, they had to give 500 at the reception. The hospital was very clean and shiny, and there was a nice music playing. When Aman was checked, when Aman had to get himself checked from the doctor advised him to get the blood test done. Everybody at the hospital were very friendly, especially the nurse who took the blood test was so kind that she even told stories to Ranjan, and he did not even feel the pain of the prick. When he asked Aman about his experience, Aman said that initially his Abba was reluctant to take him to the hospital as they had to wait in a long queue. But when he was taken to the hospital, like his father had said, they actually had to wait in a queue for their turn. There was lot of crowd in that particular place. Children, Aman was taken to government hospital, and as it was a government hospital, there were a lot of poor people who had come there for their treatment, and so they had to actually wait in the long queue for their turn. And since Aman was not well at all, he had to lean on his Abba all the time. He further said that when his turn came, the doctor examined him and asked for a blood test. Then there also they had to stand in another long queue. When they got their results after 3 days, they went back to the hospital, but there was a different doctor in the hospital that day. When they showed their details, like their test results, the doctor, he prescribed some medicines and said that there was nothing to worry about and it was just a viral fever. Now children, can you see the difference? Aman could not get everything very easily, whereas Ranjan got everything very easily and smoothly. The nurse who treated him was very kind to him and told him stories so that he would not feel the pain, the prick. Whereas poor Aman had to stand in a long queue even to get his blood test done. From this story, we can understand that public and private healthcare services are two different categories of healthcare facilities. Now, let us first see the public health service. Public health service is a chain of health center and hospitals that is run by the government. And these are both found in rural and urban areas. At the village level, there are health centers where there is usually a nurse and a village health worker. They are trained to deal with common illnesses and they work under the supervision of doctor at primary health center, that is PHC. At the district level is this district hospital that also supervises the health center. Large cities have government hospitals such as the one where Aman was taken. Now, this health services is called public for lots of reasons. It fulfills the commitment provided to the people. From the story, we can understand that public and private healthcare services are there are two different categories of healthcare facilities. Now, let us first see the public health service. Public health service is a chain of health center and hospitals that is run by the government. And these are both found in rural and urban areas. At the village level, there are health centers where there is usually a nurse and a village health worker. They are trained to deal with common illnesses and they work under the supervision of doctor at primary health center, that is PHC. At the district level is this district hospital that also supervises the health center. Large cities have government hospitals such as the one where Aman was taken. Now, this health services is called public for lots of reasons. Resources that are required to run these centers are obtained from general public in the way of tax. So, these facilities are meant for everyone. They provide quality services either free of cost or at the low cost. Their function is to prevent spread of diseases such as TB, malaria, jaundice, cholera, chikungunya, etc. These services are made effective only when there is participation of the people. Now let us move on to the next one, that is private health facilities. Private health facilities are those which are privately owned and not owned or controlled by the government. So children, a large number of private health facilities exist in our country. There are many doctors that own or that they run their own private clinics. There are registered medical practitioners, that is RMPs, in the rural area and a large number of doctors providing specialized services in the urban area. Urban areas also have hospitals and nursing homes that are privately owned. There are many laboratories that provide special facilities such as X-rays, ultrasounds, etc. And they also have a medical shop from where people can buy medicine. Here, patients have to pay a lot of money for their treatment in private hospitals. Children, do you think the healthcare is adequate for all? In our country, it is private services which are increasing and not the public services. Private services are mainly concentrated in urban areas and they are run for profit. The cost of these services is high, medicines are expensive, and almost 80% of the population cannot afford them or have to borrow money during their illness. Private services motivate wrong practices in order to run profits. It is only 20% of the population who can afford medicines for the treatment of their illness, which means it is extremely hard for the poor. Medical expenses of private hospitals cause hardships to almost 40% of the people. Illness is the cause of misery for poor families as they are already undernourished and they are not provided with basic necessities of life. Unfortunately, they have to go through this again and again as they are undernourished and they fall sick again and again. Treatment expenses make the situation even worse. It is not just money which prevents people from getting properly treated, but rather there are other factors too, like sex and other areas also matter. For example, women's health is considered less important than that of men. They are sometimes not taken to a doctor in prompt manner. Tribal areas have scarcity of properly run healthcare centers. This deprives people from getting proper treatment. So, children, let us see what initiatives have to be taken with this regards. Health condition of most people in our country is not good. Providing quality and adequate health services to all its citizens is the responsibility of the government. Improvement in health situation of the people depends on the provision of basic amenities. Hence, it is necessary to work on both basic amenities as well as the health situation of the people. Now, children, let us see the examples which provides an outline to improve the conditions. First, let us take the Kerala experience. Kerala has made a lot of efforts to provide adequate health care to its people. In 1996, state government gave its 40% budget to the panchayats in order to provide better facilities and check the existing ones. Proper planning was done for the betterment of the people. Safe water, food, women's development and education was provided. Working of schools and Anganwadis was ensured. All other problems were checked, though some problems are there which still have to be addressed. Now, let us have a look at the Costa Rican approach. Costa Rica is considered as one of the healthiest countries in South America. The government here took an approach of not having an army but instead allotting its money for health, education and other basic amenities. People were provided with safe drinking water, sanitation, then nutrition, housing facilities, etc. Health education was also considered significant as knowledge about health was important at all the levels. According to Costa Rican government, a country can develop only when its people are healthy. Thus, they paid significant attention to the health of its people. Students, a small recap of whatever we have done today. We started this session with a story, that is the cost of a cure, in which we saw how both the friends, those suffering from similar illness, went to different hospitals, that is public and private, and we also saw the treatment they received there. After that, we learnt about public health services and private health facilities. We saw that healthcare sector is divided into public and private healthcare. Public healthcare facilities have not catered to the increased population, nor have they adapted to the changing requirements of the society. The private healthcare sector is more organized, professional, well equipped, and adequately staffed. Healthcare in rural areas suffer due to rampant absenteeism by doctors, acute shortages of medicines, low skill levels of the staff, and indifferent attitude. People prefer private hospitals for treatment because of better facilities, treatment, and the equipment available, in spite of the kind of cost they have to, or price they have to pay in the private hospitals. We then learned about healthcare and equality, and we saw if adequate healthcare is available to all. We saw that private services are increasing, but comparatively public services are not. Private services are mainly concentrated in urban areas. As discussed earlier, the cost of these services are very high, and people cannot afford them and have to borrow money for their illness. Some private services also encourage incorrect practices for more profit. At times, even though inexpensive alternatives are available, they are still not used. Then we also saw how this has become a very difficult problem for the poor people who are undernourished. Every illness in the family causes a great anxiety and distress to the poor people. And the worst thing is, the situation tends to happen again and again, as I said, because people here are undernourished. They are not provided with basic necessities like drinking water, adequate housing, clean surroundings, etc. So the expenses on the illness make their situation even worse. We saw that the women's health is not given more importance. They are considered to be less important than the health of the men in the family. And in tribal areas, few health centers are there and they do not even run properly. Even the private health services are not available in these areas. Then we saw the initiatives taken by Kerala government and the Costa Rican government. Children, with this I end the part 2, that is the concluding part of chapter 2 of political science, that is role of government in health. Children, read the lesson thoroughly and do the assignments and submit it on time. I hope you are enjoying this session. See you in the next session. Till then, take care and stay safe.